Hi everyone and welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things with regards to apps. And as usual, we're going to give you and impart our knowledge and share with you as much as we can about where we see the market today. So think about the app stores, and just Apple themselves over the course of 2013 generated over 10 billion in app downloads and revenue. So what we're going to talk to you about today is when you're thinking about your app, when you're now looking to build and publish, what's the best way to monetize? And once you've thought about your monetization method, how are you going to go and promote your app? So we're going to give you some very simple tips just to start you off. The first thing to think about is when you've got your app ready, are you going to charge for your app on a pay per download basis, or are you going to offer that service free of charge? So let's hold that thought and discuss that for a second. First of all, free to download. Free to download is the best way to encourage your consumers and the people you're trying to drive your app to get that app on their device and to hold real estate on your particular device and get your brand out there. The other things to think about is when you're delivering an app free of charge at point of download is how are you going to monetize in the future. So a really good way, and one of the best examples, and hundreds of million, over 300 million in fact in the UK, just on ad revenues alone, is a really good way to monetize. But think about this. When you're driving ad revenue as your model to deliver revenues into your organization, you need to have a massive base of users. And if we're working out on a per click basis, the amount of ad revenue you need to generate, you'd need to have a massive amount of consumers having your app and making sure that those advertisers are promoting to the right people and the right demographics. So outside of ad revenues, what else can we do? So there is a pay per download option. And that ranges again. There are two basic models for pay per download. It's where there's a very low entry point, so you're encouraging users to come in, perhaps at a 69 pence or 99 pence price point, and that's typically for things like games. But then once they're in and they've acquired that and bought that for that amount of money, that's it. You'll never ask them for any more money again. You can also ask them later on down the line to perhaps unlock more levels, or to give help and advice on really difficult levels, that they ask for more information and they pay for that information. That's something called in-app purchases. So you can still charge per download, but you also encourage them later on to pay for services as and when they need to. The other way to look at it is to go back to the freemium model, so to not charge for the download, but then pay for services as and when you go. So very similar to this model, but you're not asking them for any money up front. Get them to download it, get you to grab real estate on their device. They're using your game, they're using your app for whatever it might be for, but at the same time, as they pay for new levels or pay for additional services, they're going to pay you for that. And they can be charged at different amounts. Some people charge, again, pennies, and some people charge tens, if not hundreds of pounds for in-app purchases. The final way to look at things on a pay per download basis is really think about what you're selling. What does your app do? Is it a necessity? Is it a must-have? And if it is, some of the apps that we've seen out there charge a much higher premium. So it might be free to download initially, but they would charge you more as you go. And that might be for, say, a trial of some software. And then if you want to maintain that software on your device, you would pay a premium for that. Or again, in the pay per download model, you'll pay upfront for an amount, be it 10 or 15 pounds, or even up to say 100 pounds to get that particular bit of software or service or application, whatever it might be, on your device. But you would pay for that upfront. So now we understand the different ways of monetizing your app. How do we go about promoting it? And this is the absolute key to your success. So when we think about promotion, we need to think about it in a number of different ways. All well and good having an app, be it a native app or even a web app, but how do you create a buzz around it? And the best way to do that, there's a number of different ways, but my advice would be to create a microsite or something leading up to that you can create some sort of energy around. And then once you've got that built, share that information. The best way to share, as you guys know, is through the social channels. Whatever your preferred social channels, think about your demographic. What is your app? What are you looking to promote? And then think about the relevant social channels behind that. What about the press? The best way to reach mass market is to go to the press with a compelling story. Think about what your app does for Joe Public, and then think about how that becomes a story. And see it through the eyes of a journalist and create a buzz, create a story around it, and then promote it through the relevant channels. Build up that awareness, and once you've got that awareness, why not even create an award? And see if you can first of all target an award that could perhaps get you higher up the rankings from the app stores, or create your own award. And a number of people have been really successful at this. And that's creating awards for your consumers for using your particular application, or for maybe something completely different. We hope this helps, and we look forward to seeing you next time.